AIS Play รวมความบันเทิงคุณภาพเปิดความสนุกทุกที่ทุกเวลา
The singles competition is sometimes known as Tunggal. Solo routine, as you would expect. Need to have around 100 moves in the routine. And those are the folk that will be looking at it and making the scoring decisions.
For artistic final round male Tunggal category, calling for athlete draw number 1, Pasilat Ilyas Sadara from Thailand. Please proceed to arena.
We await the first competitor. Not for much longer though, because it's time to get underway. A smile from Ilyas Sadara, ready to go, raring to go. The men's single final, the Tunggal competition. In Seni, the patterns, the forms, if you will, the artistic element of Pencak Silat. This is where the competitors really show the technique that they have. They show their mastery of the forms. And Sadara has shown himself to be a master over the years. 3 bronze medals at the Southeast Asian Games, silver medal at the Asian Championships.
Jury 5. Arena 1, calling for draw number 1.
Looks nice and relaxed, ready to participate. So, Ilyas Sadara of Thailand. The routines involve the use of weaponry, but there also must be demonstration of techniques that do not involve weapons. The weapons are there, ready to be used when the time comes. So, away we go. The first competitor, Ilyas Sadara of Thailand, in the men's single final. Well, they are very, very pleased with that, the Thailand squad. And I think that Ilyas Sadara will be really pleased as well. They look very composed coming into that display. Well, the judges are looking at the technique, the explosiveness and yet control in the attacks, but they're also looking for a sense of expression, a sense of performance as well. Should be a celebration of Pencak Silat. It certainly was that from Ilyas Sadara, who took a silver medal at the Asian Championships a couple of years ago in Singapore. He's a gentleman very interested in the scholarship of the martial arts. He has a master's degree in sport and exercise science from Bangkok University. Really fascinated by physiology and by nutrition. Nice variety of techniques shown. It's a 460 for Ilyas Sadara. Well, that is a score that's going to take some beating. Gets us off to a really fine start in this men's singles competition. Muhammad Abdul Rahman of Singapore has been an Asian champion in the singles discipline. Also competes quite a lot in the team. But his best results have come as a singles competitor. First encountered Pencak Silat when studying at a mosque at the age of 6. It's been an enormous part of his life ever since. Almost 20 years now that he's been studying the craft of Pencak Silat. He has a very studious attitude to this. He's very interested in the spirituality of Pencak Silat. I think it comes across in his performances. Must get that placement absolutely right of the weaponry, because the performer has to seamlessly transition from one weapon to the next. Mohammad Abdul Rahman of Singapore, enthusiastically received by teammates. One of the things to really look for if you're watching these routines for the very first time is the balance control the performer has. So when they hold a particular skill, such as a high kick, how controlled is that standing leg? When they move from a very fast sequence into something that's a little bit slower or more still, do they set themselves immediately, or is there a brief adjustment in the balance? I've got to do all of this whilst maintaining a really considerable pace. Always interesting to look at the non-weapon bearing hand as well. So 5 judges will calculate the score, and much as is the fashion in a lot of judged sports, such as gymnastics, such as diving, then the highest and lowest will be discarded, and that leaves a 4-3-2 for Mohammad Abdul Rahman. That's lacking some of the precision in the explosive elements that Ilyas Sadara had. So he's currently in second place with 4 more to go.
Calling for athlete draw number 3, Pasilan Tien Dung Phu from Vietnam. Please proceed to arena.
Welcome to the Padepokan Pencak Silat in Jakarta. And for those of you who are just switching on your TV now and perhaps just discovering this fascinating martial art for the very first time, you're looking at the men's single competition, sometimes known as the Tunggal, which is a solo routine with and without the use of weapons. You can see the weapons rather ably demonstrated by Vo Ten Dung of Vietnam. And this is judged artistically. Different from the Tan Ding, the combat forms, which are to come later in the day in our second session. We look here at the 22-year-old Vo Ten Dung of Vietnam, the silver medalist at the World Championships in 2016. Very positive work there from Vu Tenzung of Vietnam. It's a very rich culture of martial arts in Vietnam. And indeed, Vu Tenzung encountering many of those in his studies before focusing on the world of Pencak Silat. But so many competitors bounce from one martial art to another. They really are interdisciplinary. Now, did he have the requisite explosiveness on the kicks? Getting full extension on them, that's something that the judges will assess really, really carefully. There were some moments of lovely sharpness to Vu Tenzung's work. Ilyas Sadara leads the way on 460. Then Mohammed Abdul Rahman on 432. Those are the only two scores we have in so far. This will take us to the halfway mark of the competition. It's a 435 for Vu Tenzung. It's just lacking some of the explosiveness in parts, but that counterbalanced by a lovely sharpness in some of his hand movements. So leading the way still, Ilyas Sadara. Vu Tenzung in the silver medal position, Mohammed Abdul Rahman in the bronze.
Please proceed to arena.
On we go with the action in Pencak Silat, the seni or forms, the patterns, demonstration work, and a really young competitor here, one with great promise. Al-Mohadib Abad of Philippines, 18, but he looks unfazed, looks ready for the occasion. Diosdado Cantamayor, the national team coach for Philippines, just issuing some last-minute instructions and words of wisdom. And a moment of stillness and calmness.
Calling for draw number 4.
Made his debut, Abad, at the Southeast Asian Games last year in Kuala Lumpur, finished 5th in the singles competition. Just a really good bit of experience for him, that. So as a result, now here he is in the men's single final at the Asian Games. The first time that the martial art of Pencak Silat has featured in the Asian Games. Al-Mohadib Abad of Philippines. The competitors do have a slight tolerance of 5 seconds after that gong at the end of the performance to get their routine to a close. It's a real joy to see a young competitor's technique developing so much, and Al-Mohadib Abad certainly has come on from that display in the Southeast Asian Games. He's obviously gone back and reflected with confidence on what went well and what did not, and adjusting aspects of his form. Is it going to be good enough to slip into a medal position? 4.32 is currently the bronze medal mark. Still plenty of time for that to change, especially with Sugianto of Indonesia last to go. 4.55, lovely score from Abad, who goes into second place. I think he'll be absolutely delighted with that.
For artistic final round men's category, calling for athlete draw number 5, Pesilat South Savan candidates from Laos PDR. Please proceed to arena.
Representing Laos, Suksavan Chantalat, another young competitor, 20, that has appeared at 2 Southeast Asian Games. Made his debut in Myanmar in 2013. Came 4th there in the men's single final. Really impressive display to produce at such a young age. But in 2017, not as strong, nor indeed in 2015. 6th and 7th in the men's single final. So really looking for a much stronger display here at the Asian Games in Jakarta. So, Suksavan Chantalat of Laos, the penultimate competitor to go in this men's single final.
Time performance.
Well, Laos have really enjoyed competing in Pencak Silat at these games. They've taken 2 silver medals, 2 bronze medals. All in all, it's their best ever Asian Games. Has this young competitor, Suksavan Chantalat, done enough to add to the tally? He looked really quite emotionally overwhelmed at the end of that display. He gave a wonderful account of himself. Has some real agility and control in his kicks. A captivating performer. .460, the leading score. Ilyas Sadara, 4.55. Amor Haidib Abad, silver position. The bronze Vu Tien Zung of Vietnam on 4.35. There's a little bit of daylight between silver and bronze and a chance for somebody to get into the mix. And just one routine to go. That is Sugianto of Indonesia. .429 for Chantalat, just missing out. Goes into 5th position. So Laos will not be adding to their medals tally in this particular event.
Final round, male single
They
category.
will have chance in the women's double and women's team competition to do just that, though.
Pesilat Sugianto from Indonesia. Please proceed to arena.
Big roar for Sugianto of Indonesia, the 29-year-old, a huge favourite in front of the Jakarta crowd. He is ready for this opportunity. The world champion in Indonesia in 2016. But he's had some bad injuries lately. Had a hamstring injury in his right leg earlier this year. How well recovered is he? The weaponry in Pencak Silat is a crucial part of the routine. The competitors competing with the golok, the cleaver, the toya, the rattan cane. Sugianto needs a 460 plus score in order to take the gold medal and to continue Indonesia's 100% record of winning the Pencak Silat events here in their home games. treat to finish with. Sugianto of Indonesia. Well, it's really hard to judge the explosiveness of a competitor when the crowd is bringing that extra lift of explosiveness with every single move. A roar, a shout, a cry. They loved that. I suspect the judges will have done as well. He has a compelling fluidity, Sugianto. There's lots of extra flair in his routine, lots of extra flourishes and touches put in that really show a mastery of the forms. Super hands that he has. He's got real control. It's surely going to be good enough to move ahead of Ilyas Sadara, who's on 460. It most certainly is. 471 the score for Sugianto. And it secures him the gold medal in the Tunggal, the men's singles competition, in the seni form of Pencak Silat, the demonstration form. The bronze medal in the men's singles to Almohadib Abad of Philippines with a 4.55, just 5 points above Ilyas Sadara of Thailand, but far out in front, Sugianto with a 4.71, securing Indonesia gold, number 9 in Pencak Silat.
Calling for all jury, Arena 1.
The martial art of Pencak Silat taking place in the Padepokan Pencak Silat in Jakarta. It's a space specially designed for this wonderful martial art. And action in this morning's session from 3 of the demonstration events. We've just had the men's single final, won by Sugianto of Indonesia. Still to come, the women's double final and the women's team final. But now the moment of celebration for Sugianto. He's done well to battle past some quite nasty injury. The 29-year-old had bad hamstring trouble at the start of 2018, the sort of thing that threatened to derail his hopes here in Jakarta, but it has not done that.
Thailand, skor nilai 460. 460.
It's a huge favourite here in Indonesia. He's so popular.
Total nilai 432. 432. Nomor undi 3, Vietnam. Total nilai 435. 435. Nomor undi 4, Filipina. Total nilai 455. 455. Nomor undi 5, Laos. Total nilai 429. 429. Nomor undi 6, Indonesia. Total nilai 471. Dengan demikian, medali perunggu diperoleh negara Filipina Almond Haideb Abad. Medali perak diperoleh dari Thailand Elias Sadara dan medali emas diperoleh dari Indonesia.
ไทยแลนด์ปูนไทยแลนด์ปูนเชียร์ไทยแลนด์สู้ๆนะครับสู้เย้ไทยแลนด์ไทยเชียร์ไทยพูดพร้อมกันว่าไทยเชียร์ไทยเย้สู้ดิ
ไทยเชียร์ไทยในเอเชียนเกม 2018 ตั้งแต่วันนี้ถึง 2 กันยายน
โค้ชผมชายกลางมาหา
พี่พศตอนนี้เขาไม่เห็นผมเพราะว่าผมอยู่หลังประตู
โค้ชคุยกับใครครับ นี่คุณ ผมถามแค่คุณคุยกับใคร คุณก็ตบผม คุณก้าวร้าวมาก อีพศ
มาหาไปพร้อมกันวันศุกร์4 ทุ่มตรง อย่ามาสายนะจ๊ะ
สเปคผู้หญิงเป็นไงตัวสูงตัวเล็กในนี้ดีกว่าถ้าสมมติให้เลือกคนหนึ่ง
รอดูอาจารย์ไหมฮะ
ให้เทียบเลยแจ๊ดไต้ฝุ่นหอย ถ้าสมมติตอบเอาใจใคร
เอาใจเหรอคะเอาใจก็ไต้ฝุ่นค่ะเป็นแขกรับเชิญนะคะอนุญาตเราต้องให้แขกรับเชิญ
เจอกันวันอาทิตย์บ่ายโมงครึ่ง
ไม้ทองคำเด็กสัปดาห์นี้ เตรียมหาจนท้องแข็งกับการมาของพวกเขาเหล่านี้
น้องเจลลี่เหรอลูก
ใช่ค่ะ
อุ้ยทำไมน่ารักอย่างเงี้ย สวยๆอย่างงี้มีหนุ่มๆมาจีบหรือเปล่า มีแฟนหรือยังจ๊ะ
มีแล้วค่ะชีตุนกับไอ้เชนแต่ว่ามีใครมาจีบเยอะเลยค่ะแต่หนูชอบแค่2 คนตุนกับไอ้เชนเพราะว่าหนูไม่อยากหลายใจค่ะ
น้องนนท์
ครับ
น้องนนท์หิ้วอะไรมาลูก
ขนมเทียนแก้วทำเองครับ แม่ทำให้ครับ
เอามาทำอะไรอะลูก
เอาไม่ให้กรรมการน้ำลายไหลเล่นๆครับ
อยากไปประกวดร้องเพลง อยากไปประกวดมากเลยเหรอ น้องก็ร้องให้เพราะๆสิลูก
ครับแล้ววันนี้ฝันของเขาพวกเราพร้อมจะเติมเต็มให้ เสียงปรบมือต้อนรับน้องเจ้านะ
กับเสียงร้องแสนไพเราะที่ทำเอาผู้ใหญ่อย่างเราต้องทึ่ง เสาร์อาทิตย์นี้ 20:05 นาที อย่าสายนะจ๊ะ
ไม่ได้ลูกกดแค่นี้ไม่ได้จะไม่ได้สักผ่านเลยต้องกด
แม่เอาก็ได้ค่ะ คุณป้าสุนารี
อยู่ในศาลเจ้า 30 ปี คนเขาบอกว่ามาหากินในศาลเจ้า
มีครับแต่เราก็ทำความดีครับก็ไม่ได้คิดอะไร
ได้ปลามาตัวหนึ่งทำยังไงมันถึงจะกินไม่หมด เอาไปแกงไงตักแบ่งบ้านนู้นบ้านนี้ แล้ววันหนึ่งที่เราอดแกงนั้นน่ะมันกลับมาหาเราจริงๆไม่ใช่แค่เขาคนเดียวต้องมีอาชีพคนในกลุ่มของเขาด้วย
ศุกร์นี้ 6 โมงเย็น
การต่อสู้ที่จะมาช่วงชิงความเป็นหนึ่ง ในสงครามจังเกิลวอร์รอบไฟนอลกับการฟาดฟัน
วันนี้กระต่ายป่ากลับบ้านไงครับแหมปากดี
เชื่อเฉือน
ถ้าร้อนกันมากเรื่องเลี้ยงลูกกับทีหลังโทรมายืมกูตรงๆก็ได้ไม่ต้องมาแข่งให้เหนื่อยรู้ปะ
ทุ่มสุดตัว
ที่จะรัก
และแขกรับเชิญสุดพิเศษที่จะมาฟิชเจอริงกับ2 หน้ากากฝากความคิดของฉันเอาไว้อยู่ในเธอเพิ่งมาเลยนะผมไม่รู้ว่าเขาคือใครมาก่อน เสียงเขาบังคับได้ตามใจจริงๆนะฮะนี่คือมืออาชีพจริงๆและคนที่ได้เป็นแชมป์ของจังเกิลวอร์คือหน้ากากร่วมลุ้นไปพร้อมกัน พฤหัสบดีที่ 30 สิงหาคมนี้ 20:05 นาทีเป็นต้นไป
Ceremony in the men's single competition in Pencaksilat at the 2018 Asian Games in Jakarta, Palembang.
International Pencaksilat Federations Bersilat.
A very proud moment for the presentation party. They've been so delighted with how well their sport has been received here in Jakarta.
The bronze medal goes to Pesilat Al-Muhaidib Abad from Philippines.
Al-Muhaidib Abad of Philippines, the teenager, the 18-year-old taking a bronze medal. Great response from him to the disappointment of finishing 5th in the Southeast Asian Games a year ago. He really has developed his craft. Whole competition started in style, courtesy of Ilyas Sadara of Thailand, the 25-year-old, posting a 460, which was only beaten with a very final routine. And the competitor who beat it was Sugianto of Indonesia, the 29-year-old, the world champion from 2016, and now the Asian Games champion in the men's singles competition. Hugely popular athlete, and the 9th gold medal for Indonesia in Pencaksilat. And as a result, it's time for the national anthem of Indonesia. A rousing rendition of the national anthem. And the medalists in the men's single competition in Pencak Silat at Jakarta, Palembang 2018. And a look back at how it was won. And the display of Sugianto of Indonesia.
Kategori artistik kategori female ganda.
Coming up in just a moment, the women's double final, or ganda as it is known here in Indonesia. Pencak Silat, a new sport added at these games. One of the great joys of the Asian Games are seeing new sports, local sports added to the programme, depending on where the Games is being held. And it's a wonderful opportunity, potentially a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these athletes to perform in their sport at the Asian Games in front of a home crowd. And certainly the Indonesians have taken full advantage of it.
ยไทยแลนด์ปูนปูนไทยแลนด์ปูนปูนเชียร์ไทยแลนด์สู้ๆนะครับสู้เย้ไทยแลนด์ไทยแลนด์ไทยเชียร์ไทยพูดพร้อมกันว่าไทยเชียร์ไทยเย้สู้ดิ
ไทยเชียร์ไทยในเอเชียนเกม 2018 ตั้งแต่วันนี้ถึง 2 กันยายน
โพสผมชายกลางมาหา
พี่พศตอนนี้เขาไม่เห็นผม เพราะว่าผมอยู่หลังประตู
โพสคือใครครับ นี่คุณ ผมถามแค่คุณคุยกับใคร คุณก็ตบผม คุณก้าวร้าวมาก อีพศ
มาหาไปพร้อมกันวันศุกร์4 ทุ่มตรง อย่ามาสายนะจ๊ะ
สเปคผู้หญิงเป็นไงตัวสูงตัวเล็กในนี้ดีกว่า ถ้าสมมติให้เลือกคนหนึ่ง
รอดูอาจารย์ไหมฮะ
ให้เทียบเลยแจ๊ดไต้ฝุ่นหอย ถ้าสมมติตอบเอาใจใคร
เอาใจเหรอคะเอาใจก็ไต้ฝุ่นค่ะแขกรับเชิญนะคะอนุญาตเราต้องให้แขกรับเชิญ
เจอกันวันอาทิตย์บ่ายโมงครึ่ง
ไม้ทองคำเด็กสัปดาห์นี้ เตรียมหาจนท้องแข็งกับการมาของพวกเขาเหล่านี้
น้องเจลลี่เหรอลูก
ใช่ค่ะ
อุ้ยทำไมน่ารักอย่างเงี้ย
Singles and Regu for groups. And any of you who've been watching the Sepak Takraw, you'll know the term Regu team. The officials tasked with looking at the technique, the expression and the explosiveness of this sequence, which has been choreographed by the coach of the respective athletes. Five officials will look at the competition. The highest and lowest scores will be discarded, and the rest will be added together. And that's why usually it's a 460 plus score necessary to win a gold medal in Pencak Silat Seni or patterns.
Calling for athlete draw number 1. Athlete Botlaya Pangdi and Ampio Dualmani from Lao PDR. Please proceed to arena.
We start with a look at Laos, who are first to go of 7 pairs in this women's double final. Botlaya Vongpadi, Afino Duangmani. Both teenagers, both 19. Not hugely experienced competitors. Duang Mani on the right did compete at the Southeast Asian Games in 2013 in the single competition, but they've never had a big double competition before, so some pressure on here.
Drop 1 time. Toya drop 1 time and Pitao no drop. Calling for draw number 1.
We begin with Laos, Vongpadi and Duang Mani teaming up to produce the double routine. Certainly had its moments, the display from Motlea Bongpadi and Afinio Dwangmani. Perhaps their first blade sequence, the blade to hand, was the strongest section of the routine. And some of their initial hand-to-hand work, just some of the set pieces lacked a little bit of precision. There was some nice work with the staff and the blade. Now, gaining in experience, these competitors. And the competitors have a choice of weaponry. They can construct the routine however they see fit, as long as there are certain requirements in there. They have to have hand-to-hand moments. They have to have a variety of weaponry, set pieces and patterns. We certainly had that in this display. A lot of this will come down to the judges' assessment of their precision. A different scoring system for the women's double competition. Scores will be higher because a lot more is being assessed. So 5-4-5 for Laos. And that's the first marker laid down.
From Vietnam, please proceed to arena.
Competition continues in the women's double competition. And we have a look at Vietnam. Nguyen Thi Thu Ha, Nguyen Thi Huyen. They have experience, these two. More so Nguyen Thi Thu Ha, the two-time Asian champion in the double and team event and the Southeast Asian Games gold medalist from 2017 in the team event.
Drop one time. Additional weapon, pistol, no drop. Once again, Golok drop one time. Toya drop one time. And pistol, no drop. Calling for draw number 2.
The weapons being used, the golok or the cleaver, the pistol, the short-bladed knife or dagger, and the toya, the rattan cane. Nguyen Thi Thu Ha, Nguyen Thi Huyen, Vietnam. Oh, that really was an exciting display from Vietnam. Wonderful, wonderful patterns in that Ganda routine, the double routine. That will certainly ask some questions of the jury. Super display, really exciting. Lovely hand-to-hand combat sequence at the start with a fabulous head scissors takedown. And a really nice, precise cleaver and cane routine. Good hand-to-hand work this.
Selamat siang Bapak, selamat datang dan selamat menyaksikan pertandingan final pada pagi hari ini.
Super control. They have a wonderful sense of partnership, these two. Exciting work. This particular sequence with the Golok and the Toya cleaver and cane was very, very tight and tidy. Lovely disarming technique. Super finishing sequence. (5-4) for the score. So just in below the score from Laos. Maybe a slight surprise there.
Simran and Sonia from India, please proceed to arena.
The third pair of 7 in this women's double final. Pencak Silat at Jakarta, Palembang 2018. Simran and Sonia from India.
Toya drop 1 time. Additional weapon, Celurit, no drop. I repeat, Golok drop 1 time. Toya drop 1 time. And Celurit, no drop. Calling for draw number 3.
Both 20, these competitors. India with Simran and Sonia. Third to go in this women's double competition. Good effort from Simran and Sonia,
Waktu penampilan 3 menit 1
developing
detik.
their craft in Pencak Silat. A couple of problems when the Toya, the staff, just got a little bit caught up in the centre of the space whilst they were working with the cellurit, the sickle and the golok, the cleaver. And as a result of that, just got a little bit messy in places. Keeping that precision in these close control hand-to-hand sequences is very, very difficult. It's what the jury really is looking for. Nice sort of pump handle style takedown slam was quite innovative. Was one of the finer sequences. Nice to see some variety of weaponry using the sickle as well. Perhaps didn't quite have the precision of the other two routines that we've seen thus far. Judges agreed 5-7 for Simran and Sonia. They're in third place at the moment. It's Laos that lead the way. Vietnam in second place. How long will that last? Because it's Indonesia next. Let's find out. They've been doing pretty well in the Pencak Silat. Going for gold medal number 10 here. Wonderful atmosphere in the Padepokan Pencak Silat. Ayu Sidan Wilantari, Ni Made Duyanti, 27 and 25 respectively. They don't have a huge amount of competition experience. Duyanti did take a gold at the Southeast Asian Games in Indonesia in 2011.
Drop twice. Toya drop 1 time. Additional weapon, celurit drop 1 time. I repeat, golok drop twice. Toya drop 1 time. And celurit drop 1 time. Calling for draw number 4.
Smiles from the coaches. Here we go. Indonesia roared on by the home crowd, looking for another gold, this time coming in the women's double competition. Placement of the weaponry at the start of the routine essential, because there cannot be little slips in going to retrieve the apparatus. Representing Indonesia, Ayu Sidan Wilantari and Ni Made Duyanti. Fourth to go, 5-4-5, the current leading score. Interesting. Didn't seem to go at all according to plan with the timing at the end of that. I think they were not expecting the gong to come in at all when it did. And they look well behind the gong. They've got a 5-second tolerance, the competitors, and the whole routine didn't quite finish in the right way. Coach is saying, I'm not quite sure what happened there. Very proud of them. Just wondering if they feel they were given the right amount of time. Now, how costly is that going to be? Routine didn't seem to finish as they were expecting it to finish as well. I think they had to slightly improvise. But the hand-to-hand work at the start, beautiful flying head scissors takedown. Had a couple of those. This one was lovely, going into almost the Jujigatame style armbar. The Kimura style lock as well. Really fabulous work. Quite spectacular. But the end of the routine not according to plan at all. Just wonder what the jury is making of this, what kind of deductions they might have to apply for the routine going over time. Really is compelling work though.
Waktu penampilan 3 menit tepat.
Some lengthy discussion going on here amongst the officials. If you're just joining the competition, we're watching the women's double final. We've just had the display of Ayu Sidan Wilantari and Ni Made Dwianti of Indonesia. They seem to finish quite a bit behind the gong. I think there's some conversation going on with the officials about whether the time was right. Exactly what happened there, we can only speculate. They certainly looked surprised at the end of the routine. The competitors have a 3-minute performance time, and the official rules say there's a tolerance of 5 seconds. The score has come in 574 for Indonesia, so no form of penalty seems to have been applied for the routine being well over time. And they go into the gold medal position.
Final round ganda female category. Calling for draw number 5. Nur Azliana Ismail and Nur Anisa Shahrudin from Singapore. Please proceed to arena.
All smiles from Singapore, ready to compete in the women's double competition. Nur Ismail and Nur Hanisha Shahrudin, both just 19.
Golok drop 1 time. Toya drop 1 time. Additional weapon celurit.
Well, these teenagers have got a lot of good competition experience.
Toya drop 1 time.
They won the silver medal in the double competition at the Kuala Lumpur Southeast Asian Games last year.
Calling for draw number 5.
Shahrudin just turned to Ismail to say a last couple of words. It is Nurhanisha Shahrudin leading the way. Just wonder if Shahrudin really is in top physical condition. She fractured her left hand in April. Just a month of training, a month of competition. It's been a pretty tough route back to be ready for the games. Well, we shall find out. Singapore with Nur Ismail and Nurhanisha Shahrudin. Two young competitors from Singapore impressing. Nur Ismail and Nurhanisha Shahrudin. Have they impressed the jury? That's the question. 5-7-4 leads the way, that is Indonesia. 5-4-5 the silver position, that's Laos, and 5-4-4 the bronze, Vietnam. 2 more routines after this one. Had a bit of a stumble right at the start of the routine, but recovered well. Nice snapmare takedown. And that cross-legged head scissors working quite nicely. Drop toe holds a popular move in the Pencak Silat routines. Well executed. Nice facial response as well. This could be up there, and it is 5-4-9 Singapore moving into the silver medal position. So Laos drop down into bronze. Vietnam out of the medals now. Still Indonesia lead. Nur Abu Hassan and Nur Malik. Very experienced competitors. Abu Hassan 31, Malik 30. And they took the gold in this event at the Southeast Asian Games in 2013 and in 2017.
I repeat, Golok drop 1 time, Toya drop 1 time, and Chris no drop.
Nur Abu Hassan on the right.
For draw number 6.
Only started to do Pencak Silat just for fun. She used to perform it at weddings as entertainment, having been more of a track and field athlete in her youth. And then she suddenly realised that actually this was the thing she really was excelling at, and decided to pursue it competitively and joined the national team. A wonderful journey it's been. What will this phase of the journey yield for the Malaysians? Tough challenge to dethrone Indonesia here. It's a challenge they will resolutely attack. Working as a partnership, Nur Abu Hassan, Nur Malik, Malaysia. Super finish to the routine, really inventive stuff. There was one moment in there that noticeably did not look right, which is where the Toya, the staff, went trundling off the platform. You can see one of the judges has just put it back into position, or one of the officials has put it back into position. Just wonder what kind of an impact that might have on the evaluation. Loads of wonderful, wonderful hand-to-hand combat at the start of the sequence. Really are an experienced partnership. They do create a sense of performance. This was a super head scissors takedown. So from another angle, a lift, really nice. And a rotation out of the takedown by Malik. Lovely. This, the wonderful finish, the raised armbar to disarm. Excellent. 5-5-8 for Malaysia, puts them into second place. It guarantees them a medal. What colour it will be determined by Thailand, who perform next. So with one to go, it's Indonesia leading the way. It's Malaysia in second place. And then Singapore occupy the bronze medal position. So 5-4-9 is the magic number. That's the score that sends you into medal contention. Hit the 550 and you're laughing. The final pair to go in the women's ganda or double competition in Pencak Silat Seni at the 2018 Asian Games. Sawani Chantamuni and Uraya Chusuwan of Thailand. Well, they really, really want this. 5th place in the final of the Southeast Asian Games in Kuala Lumpur last year. Growing in experience. Chusuwan on the right is 21. Chantamuni, 23. Thailand represented by Sawani Chantamuni and Uraya Chusuwan. The final double to go in this women's competition. Chasing a target for a medal of 550. just seemed to have a few problems in the last 20-30 seconds of that sequence. A couple of really imprecise moments with the weapons, including one changeover that really didn't quite work. So it'll be interesting to see what the jury think in terms of how front-loaded the success of that routine was. Sawani Chantamuni and Oraya Chusuwan of Thailand. This is the early moments. Some really good work in this. Some of those contact points very, very close. The spinning head scissors takedown just had perhaps a slightly early exit from it. Just waiting for this last score to come in. It's currently Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, the 1-2-3. Bit of a wait here to get this final score in for Thailand. Quite a lot for the judges to have a think about. Now, was there enough at the start of the routine to compensate for the small errors at the end? That's the question. It's a lot of very good work at the beginning. 5-6-4 the score for Thailand. And it is good enough for a silver medal. So Indonesia will take the gold. Thailand will take the silver, and Malaysia the bronze. Tough on Ismail and Sharudin of Singapore, pushed into fourth place right at the end there. And there is confirmation of the results in the women's double final. The bronze for Malaysia, the silver for Thailand, and another gold number 10 in Pencaksilat for Indonesia.
Putri, babak final. Nomor undian 1 memperoleh nilai 545. Nomor undian 2 memperoleh nilai 544. Nomor undian 3 memperoleh nilai 527. Nomor undian 4 memperoleh nilai 574. Nomor undian 5 memperoleh nilai 549. Nomor undian 6 memperoleh nilai 558. Dan nomor undian 7 memperoleh nilai 564. Dengan demikian, juara 3 diraih oleh Malaysia. Juara kedua diraih oleh Thailand. Dan juara 1 diraih oleh Indonesia. Terima kasih.
The result of final artistic female ganda category. Draw number 1, score 545. Draw number 2, score 544. Draw number 3, score 527. Draw number 4, score 574. Draw number 5, score 549. Draw number 6, score 558. And draw number 7, score 564. And the following results of final artistic female ganda category are: in the third place is draw number 6 from Malaysia with bronze medal. In the second place is draw number 7 from Thailand with silver medal. And in the first place is draw number 4 from Indonesia with gold medal. Thank you.
In a matter of moments' time, we'll have the victory ceremony in the Pencak Silat women's double competition that took place here in the Padepokan Pencak Silat in Jakarta.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the victory ceremony for artistic category female tunggal.
Please welcome to the podium the medalists from Malaysia, Thailand, and Indonesia.
The medals and the mascot will be presented by Mr. Prabowo.
It's now time for the victory ceremony in the women's double competition in Pencak Silat at Jakarta, Palembang 2018.
The bronze medal goes to Pesilat Nur Hamzah Abu Hassan and Pesilat Nur Shazrin Amali from Malaysia.
The experienced duo of Nur Abu Hassan and Nur Malik of Malaysia taking the bronze medal. Twice they've been Southeast Asian Games champions, and here at the Asian Games it's a bronze medal for this veteran pair.
Silver medals goes to Pesilat Sawani Chantamuni and Pesilat Oraya Chosuan from Thailand.
Receiving the silver medal, a young pair from Thailand, Sawani Chantamuni, just 23, and Oraya Chosuan, 21 years old. And this is great for them, having finished 5th in the Southeast Asian Games last year. A jubilant gold for Indonesia, Ayu Sidan Wulantari and Nimade Duyanti. And they capture Indonesia's gold number 10 in Pencak Silat at Jakarta, Palembang 2018. And it's now time for the national anthem of Indonesia.
National anthem of Indonesia.
Hugely emotional, Ayu Sidan Wulantari and Nimade Duyanti.
And congratulations to all of our medalists.
The medalists in the women's double competition in Pencak Silat at Jakarta, Palembang 2018.
And for all winners, certificate can be taken in table front of Arena 2.
Confirmation of another gold for Indonesia, number 10 in Pencak Silat, coming in the form of the women's double competition.
Untuk pertandingan selanjutnya di arena 1 kategori female regu di babak final.
ยไทยแลนด์ปูนปูนไทยแลนด์ปูนปูนเชียร์ไทยแลนด์สู้ๆนะครับสู้เย้ไทยแลนด์ไทยแลนด์ไทยเชียร์ไทยพูดพร้อมกันว่าไทยเชียร์ไทยเย้สู้ดิ
ไทยเชียร์ไทยในเอเชียนเกม 2018 ตั้งแต่วันนี้ถึง 2 กันยายน
โค้ชผมชายกลางมาหา
พี่พศตอนนี้เขาไม่เห็นผม เพราะว่าผมอยู่หลังประตู
โค้ชคุยกับใครครับ นี่คุณ ผมถามแค่คุณคุยกับใคร คุณก็ตบผม คุณก้าวร้าวมาก อีพศ
มาหาไปพร้อมกันวันศุกร์4 ทุ่มตรง อย่ามาสายนะจ๊ะ
สเปคผู้หญิงเป็นไงตัวสูงตัวเล็กในนี้ดีกว่าถ้าสมมติสมมติให้เลือกคนหนึ่ง
รอดูอาจารย์ไหมฮะ
ให้เทียบเลยแจ๊ดไต้ฝุ่นหอย ถ้าสมมติตอบเอาใจใคร
เอาใจเหรอคะเอาใจก็ไต้ฝุ่นค่ะเป็นแขกรับเชิญนะคะอนุญาตเราต้องให้แขกรับเชิญ
เจอกันวันอาทิตย์บ่ายโมงครึ่ง
ไม้ทองคำเด็กสัปดาห์นี้ เตรียมหาจนท้องแข็งกับการมาของพวกเขาเหล่านี้
น้องเจลลี่เหรอลูก
ใช่ค่ะ
อุ้ยทำไมน่ารักอย่างเงี้ย สวยๆอย่างงี้มีหนุ่มๆมาจีบหรือเปล่า มีแฟนหรือยังจ๊ะ
มีแล้วค่ะชื่อตุนกับไอ้เชนแต่ว่ามีใครมาจีบเยอะเลยค่ะ แต่หนูชอบแค่2 คนตุนกับไอ้เชนเพราะว่าหนูไม่อยากหลายใจค่ะ
น้องนนท์
ครับ
2016 will be the firm favourites. Challengers will come in from Thailand with an interesting team. Not hugely experienced, but they've got real potential. And watch for Singapore coming at the end of the order, containing team members that took the bronze at the World Championships in 2016 and also the Southeast Asian Games gold in 2017, albeit in singles competition. So they're very experienced. Malaysia, of course, always worth consideration. But Indonesia, the firm favourites to take gold, number 11 in Pencak Silat. And it's 100% so far for the Indonesians. They've won every event. And if you're just switching on your TV now, wherever in the world you're watching the action from, so a very warm welcome to you to the Padepokan Pencak Silat in Jakarta. A competition in a martial art that is hugely practiced across Indonesia. 150 styles alone in Indonesia are recognised.
Final. Regu female. The official are Juri 1, Salimi Muhammad Saleh. Juri 2, Jamaluddin H. Tahir. Juri 3, Ruslan Syamtani. Juri 4, Trati Tuheng. And Juri 5, Amir Hamzah. Calling for all jury, Arena 1. Please proceed to Arena.
The presentation of the jury will begin this competition. 7 teams to come, or Regu, as they are known. We've already had the Tunggal, the single competition, the Ganda, the doubles, and now it is the Regu, the group competition. This is the last of the Seni, or artistic, events in Pencak Silat at the Asian Games. And then in the evening session we have some more tanding, some sparring action. 5 gold medal bouts to come across the men's and women's weight classes. A variety of weapons are used in the various forms of Pencak Silat in the Seni, but there's also a huge focus on hand-to-hand combat, on unarmed patterns. There is evidence that Pencak Silat was first taught in the 6th century in Riau.
Regu category. Final round. Calling for athletes draw number 1. Pesilat Pramudita Yuristia. Pesilat Lutfi Nur Hasana and Pesilat Gina Trilestari from Indonesia. Please proceed to arena.
We'll begin with a huge roar from the home faithful here in the Padepokan Pencak Silat. That is because it's the turn of Indonesia. Pramudita Yuristia, Lutfi Nur Hasana and Gina Trilestari. This is the Regu, the group that won the gold medal at the World Championships a couple of years ago. And they will be absolutely expected to take the title here in Jakarta, Palembang. The focus of the group routines is hand-to-hand combat. So no weaponry in these as we look at Indonesia, first to go in the women's team competition. Splendid start from Indonesia. The focus in the team competition is the synchronization of those patterns. It has to be a harmonious relationship between the three competitors. They've got to have real intensity. It has to be fluid. They can't be seen to be waiting, slowing down for another competitor to pick up the pace. Judges will be very alert for any of those little signs. But the form very precise from Yurista Nurhasana and Tri Lestari. This was a very well synchronized landing.
Artistic female Ragu category final round, calling for athletes
466 the score for Indonesia. First to go. There are 6 more teams to come. So will that be good enough? We shall find out as the competition continues. Vietnam next. 2 of the competitors competed in the women's double competition. Gui Thi Tu Ha and Gui Thi Huyen. Joined by Zong Thi Bin. Southeast Asian Games team champions. Haven't had a huge amount of time to recover. So a lot to ask of Gui Thi Tu Ha and Gui Thi Huyen. They are used to competing in more than one event. So now going for glory in the team competition, Vietnam. Vietnam with Gui Thi Chu Ha, Gui Thi Huyen and Zong Thi Bin. Did it have the precision of the Indonesian display? The routine assessed by 5 jury members. The highest and lowest scores are discarded. Then the remaining 3 added together. For 6-4 for Vietnam. Very, very close to that score set by Indonesia. Just 2 points away. And they're in the second position.
Artistic female regu category final round. Calling for athletes, draw number 3, Pesilat Tuni Vilazak, Pesilat Motlaya Fong Pakdi, and Pesilat Opinyo Duang Meni from Lao PDR. Please proceed to the arena.
The third team to perform in this women's team final or regu competition. The team from Laos, Motlaya Vong Pakdi and Afinyo Duang Mani, having just competed and completed their routine in the women's doubles competition, now joined by Tune Vilazak, and together they will go for Laos' 5th medal of these games and their 5th in Pencak Third to go, the team from Laos. Well, some evident synchronization issues in that display from Laos. Much that did work really nicely, particularly the first half of the routine. Judges in all of these forms, the pattern-based displays across the martial arts, they're always vigilant to see if the difficulty is front-loaded throughout the routine. When the difficulty is front-loaded, because often competitors try to put in the most challenging work when they're at their freshest, then it does rather lead to a sense of imbalance, and perhaps that's what we had in this display. (4-4-2) for Laos. Unsurprisingly, that's down by just over 20 points from the first two nations that we've seen. So Indonesia, Vietnam and Laos is currently the state of play for 1-2-3. We have only had 3 of the teams. We have another 4 still to come. Malaysia will be next and will be confident of going in above that 4-4-2 mark.
Arena 1, Artistic Female Regu category. Final round, calling for athletes draw number 4, Pesilat Nuraisha Samsul Bahri, Pesilat Nur Syahira Ratius, and Pesilat Siti Nur Hairun Isahia from Malaysia. Please proceed to the arena.
Malaysia next to compete. Not a very experienced team this, a first real major competition for Nuraisha Shamsul Bahrin, Nur Syahira Ratius and Siti Hail. Maybe just some signs of nerves there. This is a big occasion. It's the Asian Games. It's the first time that Pencak Silat has featured at the Asian Games, though it has featured on many occasions at the Southeast Asian Games. They will no doubt have had some clear encouragement and advice from their teammates, some of the more experienced teammates in the Malaysian squad. But a first big opportunity now for this team from Malaysia. First major competition for this team from Malaysia, and they've acquitted themselves really, really well. Some smiles coming off the mat.
Waktu penampilan tepat 3 menit.
Will they be smiling once the judges have had their say? We await clarification from the table. There's certainly much to enjoy about this display from Malaysia. The synchronization, oh so important in a regu routine, a group routine. Ably demonstrated there. Very synchronized work. Perhaps just a loss of the synchronization in that particular section. 4-4-3 the score for Malaysia, puts them in 3rd position. They'll grow in experience, this trio, no question of that.
Artistic female regu category final round. Calling for athletes draw number 1, draw number 5, pesilat Asma Jehma, pesilat Yuwita Asmauho, pesilat Rohana Herbuli from Thailand. Please proceed to the arena.
Indonesia lead the way on 4-6-6. It's a 4-6-4 for Vietnam in 2nd place, and 3rd place at the moment Malaysia on 4-4-3, but there is a gap emerging after those top 2, and a chance for any of these remaining 3 teams to jump in there and get a podium place. Will it be Thailand, Asma Jema, Yuwita Samaho and Ruhana Chiabuli? Asma Jema is the only one of these competitors with a medal so far. It actually came from the Tanding, the sparring form. Took a silver medal at the Asian Championships a couple of years ago. Now focuses more on the patterns, the demonstration work, but it is evidence there that the two have to coexist. The idea being that Pencak is the essence of training, Silat is the essence of combat, and without one you cannot have the other.
Calling for draw number 5.
Team number 5, Thailand, in this women's group final. Well, every group in this competition showing some lovely work, some variety. Certainly is there, and the sense of partnership is apparent.
Waktu penampilan tepat 3 menit.
Now, have Thailand done enough here to get above Malaysia on 4-4-3 and into a medal position? Routines evaluated on technique, expression and explosiveness. Those little losses of synchronization, they will get punished. They're just there, 4-4-8 for Thailand. Moves them into third place, nudging ahead of Malaysia, who are nudged down into fourth position. So it's Indonesia 4-6-6 in the gold position, Vietnam 4-6-4 the silver, and Thailand 4-4-8 the bronze. 2 to go.
Final round. Calling for athletes draw number 6. Pesilat Anissa Najihah Abdullah, Pesilat Christina Atira Zainal, and Pesilat Nur Azimatu Naima Sima from Brunei. Please proceed to the arena.
The group from Brunei. Anissa Abdullah, Christina Zainal and Nur Simat. Such an interesting journey these folk had into the world of Pencak Silat. Abdullah and Zainal's mums, respectively, signed them up for it, said you've got to learn some self-defense, learn some physical fitness. They didn't want to go along initially. Family said, come on, do it, you'll enjoy it. Similar story for Nur Simat. It was a friend of hers who suggested to her that she give it a go. And they all became rather captivated. Brunei yet to win a medal at the Games. Will these three be able to do it? The penultimate women's group from Brunei. Really good effort from this trio from Brunei. Not sure that it's going to be enough. There were a couple of obvious wobbles, searches for stability on the standing legs in a couple of the kicks. Some other moments, perhaps, where the synchronization just wasn't fully sharp. They've given a very decent account of themselves. The slow motion does highlight any gaps in synchronization. Much stronger there. Oh, they were very, very close. 4-4-7 for Brunei. Just 1 point shy of Thailand's 4-4-8 in the bronze medal position. That's very, very unfortunate. Would have been Brunei's first medal of these games. There is still one group to go in any case. So we know then that Indonesia have a medal. We know that Vietnam have a medal because they cannot be entirely displaced from the podium. In a nervous position right now, Thailand. And this is an interesting group coming up now, the Singaporean effort.
Pesilat Nurul Hairiyah Muhammad Yazid, Pesilat Nurul Syafiqah binti Muhammad Faizul, and Pesilat Siti Nazura Muhammad Yusuf from Singapore. Please welcome into the arena.
The last group to go, and the very last group in any of the artistic elements of Pencak Silat at these games, for it is the final day of the 6 days of competition in Pencak Silat. And we look at Singapore, and Nur Zuhaira Muhammad Yazid, Nurul bint Muhammad Fazul, and Siti Maud Yusof. Muhammad Yazid bint Muhammad Fazul, World Championship team bronze medalists in 2016, with Maud Yusof a new addition to this team. Muhammad Yazid, the most experienced and the most decorated of the team, taking single gold at the SEA Games last year. But they are ready for the occasion. Lots of smiles, nice relaxed coach sending them onto the field of play. Make them relaxed and make them deliver their very best work. It will need to be their very best because 4-4-8 is the current score that occupies the bronze medal position. That is Thailand. Singapore, the final group to go in this women's competition. Compelling finish to the competition. Is it going to be enough for Singapore? They're looking for their 6th medal in Pencak Silat at these games. It would be the second for Mohammad Yazid, who was the bronze medalist in the women's individual competition. Certainly given this a really good challenge. Performed with real confidence and flair. Nice fluid strokes into aggressive, powerful work. Controlled release of power. We await the score for Singapore. Leading the way, Indonesia, then Vietnam, then Thailand. Have Singapore managed to sneak onto the podium right at the end? It's going to be close. Still no confirmation of that score. Anxious waits here for Nuruzada Mohammad Yazid, Nurul bint Mohammed Faizul and Siti Mod Yusof. Oh, not quite. 4-4-7 for Singapore. Positions them just below Thailand by a single point. Both Brunei and Singapore a point below Thailand. And it's the confirmation, as if it were needed, of yet another gold for Indonesia. Number 11 in Pencak Silat. Vietnam taking the silver medal and Thailand the bronze. Well, we haven't yet had official confirmation of those results, so just as soon as that is officially confirmed, will bring you the final standings in the women's group competition.
Final kategori regu putri. Nomor undi 1 Indonesia. Total nilai 466. 466. Nomor undi 2 Vietnam. Total nilai 464. 464. Nomor undi 3 Laos. Total nilai 442. 442. Nomor undi 4.
Now confirmation of those final standings, and tough on Singapore and Brunei, just missing out by a point with Thailand taking the bronze. Vietnam the silver, very close to Indonesia, who took the gold.
Thailand. Total nilai 448. 448. Nomor undi 6 Brunei Darussalam. Total nilai 447. 447. Nomor undi 7 Singapura. Total nilai 440.
AIS Play รวมความบันเทิงคุณภาพ เปิดความสนุกทุกที่ทุกเวลา